Hello, my name is Scott Johnston, and today I will be explaining oxidative phosphorylation, and more specifically, the electron transport chain, which are both part of cellular respiration. Oxidative phosphorylation and the electron transport chain are essentially one and the same, in that ATP is produced as a result of oxidation of electron carriers in the electron transport chain, which creates phosphorylation of ADP to ATP. This process all occurs in the mitochondria up here. Since the components of the electron transport chain are embedded specifically in the inner mitochondrial membrane right here, we're going to focus our attention there, which is down here. Inner membrane. This is the inner membrane. This is the inner membrane space. Intermembrane space. We start with NADH and FADH2. They started out as coenzymes NAD and FAD respectively, but were reduced through reactions within the citric acid cycle. They deliver hydrogen atoms to the coenzymes embedded in the intermitochondrial membrane. NADH delivers 2 electrons to FMN, which is also known as the coenzyme flavin mononucleotide, this one right here, while FADH2 delivers electrons to ubiquinone, which is also known as coenzyme Q, also coenzyme Q10. By delivering the electrons, both NADH and NADH and FADH2 are both reduced back down to NAD and FAD respectively. The hydrogen protons in this process were released before they could enter the electron transport chain. The ions will pass through the electron transport chain as such. I go follow this green line here. That they will pass after they pass through the coenzymes. They will hit cytochrome B, C, A, and A3 in that order. And once it passes through cytochrome A and A3, it's binded to oxygen and then to hydrogen protons within. The electrons are drawn to the oxygen, and together they form H2O, or water molecule. In my research, I found that these are also referred to as complexes: complex 1, complex 2, complex 3, complex 4. Complex 2 receives the electrons and then sends them to coenzyme Q. But as the electrons pass through all these cytochromes and pass through the electron transport chains, energy is lost, which actually activates hydrogen ion pumps, which is represented by these arrows here, and it pumps out hydrogen protons from the mitochondrial matrix, which is on the inside of the inner mitochondrial membrane, and into the space in between the inner mitochondrial and outer mitochondrial membrane, which is the inner membrane space. This creates a steep concentration gradient across the inner mitochondrial membrane here. You got all these positive charges out here. The hydrogen protons are pulled back into the mitochondrial matrix by hydrogen ion channels that help make up ATP synthase. Once these hydrogen ions pass through ATP synthase, a kinetic energy is created that allows ADP to combine with lone phosphates to produce ATP in a process that's known as chemiosmosis. That concludes my presentation on oxidative phosphorylation and the electron transport chain. Thank you for watching.